Do you ever wonder what it's like to live on the small lake or one of the small lakes here in Christmas Lake Village? If so, stay tuned. Hi, I'm Carrie Hinshaw from Key Associates Signature Realty, and I love doing videos of work, living, and playing here in Southern Indiana. If you're new to our channel, make sure you tap that subscribe button. And if you've been watching, well, welcome back. I love when people watch our videos. And if you really like this video, give me a thumbs up, because it definitely gives me great feedback. Today, I'm going to do a video on Lake Noel, which is very similar to Lake Holly. I always give spotlight to the main lake, which is Christmas Lake here in Christmas Lake Village. And I thought I'd do a little bit of a highlight on the lake that I actually grew up on, Lake Noel. This is actually the house I grew up in that's in the background, and currently the house that I live in. So kind of exciting for me, and I'm a little biased to Lake Noel. So a little history about Lake Noel. It is about 34 acres. So it is a smaller lake. It's not as big as Christmas Lake. And you can only have trolling motors, kayaks, kind of like what I'm in right now, canoes, paddle boats, what I call, it's a quiet water lake. You can't have the horsepower boats on this lake. You can't have pontoons. I guess you could have a pontoon if it had a trolling motor, but most of the pontoons and speedboats and everything are on the main lake. So one thing that is different about the smaller lakes is that it's quiet. That's why they're quiet water lakes. So one big difference, if you're looking to be more in a quieter, secluded backyard and be on a lake, then the smaller lakes are probably a place to look. Like I said, Noel is 34 acres and Lake Holly is 24 acres, and they are quiet water. The one biggest difference is when you're sitting in your backyard, you will never usually see a peep. Maybe a fisherman will come by or a kayaker, but in general, it is a very quiet water lakefront environment. And you feel like you actually own the whole lake, which is kind of odd because there's houses all around here. But again, it's not all the busyness that the big lake of Christmas Lake brings while you're living on this lake. One thing I loved about this lake growing up, we had a beach, as you can see, and we swam a lot when we were younger. And this lake is actually fairly deep. It drops off like say within my beachfront, maybe 15 feet, and you can no longer touch. If I remember correctly, by the dam, it's probably 30 feet or deeper. It is a very deep lake when you get into the middle for sure. One big difference is when they created this lake, they kind of just filled up a valley. It was not really dug out as much as like Christmas Lake was. They kind of just dammed it up and it kind of filled in. So it is a deep lake, at least Lake Noel is. I can't say that I can vouch for Holly, for example, just because I live on Noel. So I absolutely loved that as a kid. We would come out and pretty much dominate this lake as kids. We would come out into the middle, probably be the only kids on the lake, and we'd feel like it was our own private lake when we were young. So a great lake, very safe. You're not gonna have any boats running over you. The kids can swim free and clear of anything running over them and having a good time. Lily pads, if you really enjoy that, this is a great lake for that. We pull ours in and out. We don't do it as much because we don't have as younger kids anymore, but we did enjoy those times. So if you like kind of the relaxing on floats and lily pads, you won't be bothered on the small lake if you want to take the day and relax. I can't vouch that I know if the fishing is good or not, honestly, but there are fishermen that roll past my beachfront probably daily, just trolling the shorelines, looking for those bluegill, bass, red ear, catfish. I do remember as a little kid, my dad actually did feed the catfish, and they would come in when we threw all the catfish food out every day. They almost knew we were coming every time of the day because they'd all start coming in. That was like my cheating. It was about the only time I fished was when I threw that pole in right when they were feeding the fish. So I was a little cheater when it came to fishing in my childhood. There's quite a bit of houses around Lake Noel. There's a few lots open, not for sale, but there are still some that have not been built on. The houses probably range lately that I've seen from $250 to $400 to $450, somewhere around that is the price point that I've seen. Not to say there hasn't been higher, but honestly, I have not seen a lot of people move from Lake Noel in a long time. So we only get maybe 1 or 2 homes a year, if we're lucky, that pop up on this lake. Come around, take a tour with me. I'm gonna take the kayak around the whole lake so you can kind of get a feel of what this lake's all about. I hope you enjoyed my tour of Lake Noel, the best lake. Well, I'm a little biased in Christmas Lake. No, it's not the best lake, but I do really love it. They're all great. I'm not biased to any of them, but I am sitting in my backyard, so I can say that a little bit. But if you have any questions on Lake Noel or any of the lakes here in Christmas Lake, give me a call at 812-686-3268. Until next time, I'll see you then.